It's going to be in pieces. It's going to do a little bit down by Beloit, some in Janesville, some up by Madison, some up here. So it's going to go all over the place.
I can remember when they put them in early 60s.
Yeah.
Call to order the regular Common Council meeting, Monday, July 7th, 7 p.m. Roll call.
Webb?
Yes.
McIntyre?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Thomas?
Yep.
Mark Walnuts?
Yes.
Chris Walnuts?
And Chris Wellness is excused tonight. Next item is Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Confirmation of appropriate meeting notice.
Was noticed on Thursday, July 3rd. Agenda is posted at BMO Harris Bank, the Post Office, Library, and City Hall.
Council acceptance of the agenda.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Okay.
Personal appearances for non-agenda items. And we have a presentation from the Wisconsin DOT update on the I-39 and 90 project. Steve and John.
Well, thank you for having us tonight. Appreciate you coming up. I don't know if everybody standing here, we have plenty of people going through. Again, thank you. I'm John Steiner. I'm the project supervisor for the Dane County portion of the I-39 project. I also currently have the Rowan Road project up in the city of Madison on the Beltline. With me is Stephen.
Steve Tyson, DOT Communications Manager, handle all social media, website, media relations for the expansion project.
Well, this is very open as we go through. If you have questions at any time on any of the slides, any more further comments on that, just feel free to ask, of course, as we go through. We'll go through some of the general stuff here on the I-39 expansion project. Some of you may have seen these already. Our project goes from the Illinois state line up to Madison. There's several reasons why. There are several reasons why we're looking to improve this corridor as we go through. Again, this corridor, we all know, was built back in the 50s and 60s. We're already in 2014. We see some of the needs out there. I'm sure everybody's been out there seeing the amount of truck traffic we have out there, the amount of cars we have. There was a slight incident this morning already, just north of Edgerton and stuff on the northbound lanes. It held up traffic for about 3-4 miles for a few minutes of that. They cleared it. It wasn't as major.
What time was that?
That was right around 11:30.
Oh, I go there at 6 o'clock every morning. Yeah, it's free.
We can see it backing up as we cross the bridge down at 59 and stuff as we went down through there. So, of course, since it was built back in the 50s and 60s, the traffic has improved, cars, all the motivation. The substandard features we have out there, they were great for the time back then, quarterly interchanges, the length of the ramps and stuff. Cars have gotten faster, bigger, we haul more freight. Everything's just out of date with what we have today for the motor transportation we're using. Congestion, increased traffic. You know, currently 45 to 60,000 cars a day in this type of interstate is normal, but we are projecting by the time our design year, which is 2040, we're going to have 80 to 100,000 cars coming up and down the highway. So it drastically increases as we go through. And as we all know from this past weekend, Friday, and Sunday nights in the summer are the very heaviest travel times of the year for us. So we know as we go through here, those are the worst times. Friday night northbound, Sunday night coming back southbound as we go through there. Enhanced safety. As I just mentioned, we had a crash just today. Nothing serious, but it's just enough to hold up traffic. On average, these are the updated ones we have. We're always about a year or two behind on our crashes as we try to go through the numbers. But in 2008 to 2012, we had a total of 543 crashes resulting in injury. 20 of those were fatalities. This is about 20% higher than our state average. And usually we start reaching that, getting above our state average. We know there's some improvements that need to be made out on the highway. We try to look at those. We try to go through those as we need to every year when we look at our improvement projects. Why improve it? As we just talked, it's a major tourism route. We love it when people from Illinois come up to Wisconsin, spend their tax dollars, and leave them here. Not always their attitudes, but we like their tax dollars. We love to leave their money here. We like to see that. It helps the food, lodging, the Dells, Bourbon North Points, as people have them. Moving the goods. As we talked, there's a lot of trucks out here. Many people know there's a lot of trucks. We're up to 35% of the vehicles out here. Every third vehicle is a large truck. We're not talking a big pickup truck with dual wheels. We're talking semis, large cover trucks, large vans and stuff as we go through. As comparison there, you look at the Madison Beltline, they're about 7%. Even though they have a lot more traffic, the percent of trucks is lower. You get up to I-94 by St. Croix, they say when you cross over into Minnesota, they think they have a lot of trucks, they're at 26%. So we carry a lot of truck traffic. This is a major route for freight coming up from Illinois, from the Rochelle station, where they offload the trains and stuff. This comes to all points in the upper Midwest as they come right up through this corridor. So it's very major, very important to us as a state and industry. Interstate improvements, the whole 45-mile corridor, we're going to improve. We're going to go from 4 lanes that you currently see out there today to 6 lanes to the whole part of it. We're going to reconfigure. There's 11 interchanges total on this corridor. We're going to reconfigure and rebuild every single one of them. If there's a bridge out here that we do not touch and rebuild completely, it is one of the outliers. Just about every bridge, whether it goes over the interstate or the interstate goes over it, will be rebuilt to new standards and upgraded as we go through here. This is a major job for us to come through. The piece between Janesville, pretty much from Avalon Road up to the 26 and 14 interchanges, that section of roadway has enough traffic and volume, counts on it to warrant 8 lanes. So there'll be 4 lanes north and south of that piece. The rest of it will be 6 lanes. So that's a lot of new pavement, a lot of new dollars and stuff to be spent, a lot of grading, widening, profile changes and everything as we go through here. Again, we have the 3 segments. We broke it up into 3 design segments. It's such a large enough project. We decided to have 3 different design teams, 3 different firms, groups of firms and stuff that paired up. We have the north segment, and we got real original with the names, central segment, south segment. Made it easy for us to kind of orient ourselves as we go through and everybody knows where we're at. So the north segment, of course, is the Dane County segment. Madison south to the Dane County, Rock County line. Our central segments from the Rock County line on down to Janesville, to just north or Brown County O, just south of the Racine Street interchange that we rebuilt last year. South segment carries us from that piece all the way down through Beloit, down to the Illinois line as we go through here. Illinois has built their piece, or just about ready to finish their piece, to 6 lanes. We're going to match up with them. We have some agreements with them and some crossovers, and as we're going and working with them, they left some pieces for us. We're going to do some pieces for them as we go through.
Where is that at?
Right down on the Illinois line.
Oh, right, gotcha.
Yeah. In order for them to finish their piece right up to the border, we had to have an agreement so they could use their crossovers in Wisconsin, and vice versa. When we come to build our piece down to the border, we're going to use the crossovers into Illinois. And we made some agreements how we're going to finish that up as we go through there. One of the interchanges right here by Edgerton, on the north side of Edgerton, is the 51 Highway 73 interchange as we go through there. Currently, it is a, what do I call it, a loop ramp, kind of a semi-loop ramp interchange when they built it. They function just fine, but if any of you do travel through this interchange and want to head north to Madison, that on-ramp is a pain. I do that enough. You can't get up to enough speed, especially if you drive a Ford Focus like me. You don't have enough horsepower to get up to speed to get in front of those trucks. It's kind of hairy and dangerous, and I know you people probably live with that for a long time. We're looking to improve this to a full diamond interchange. Basically, there's 4 ramps, 2 off ramps, 2 on ramps, just like you had before, but it's in that diamond configuration, as you can kind of see going through there. That puts us into buying some property a little bit there from the truck stop on that south quadrant, and down there on the north, northwest quadrant up there through that farm field. The other 2 quadrants are pretty much staying within the highway right away as we go through there. So one interesting tidbit with this one is the traffic volumes we have across this interchange, still it only warrants stop sign conditions, not traffic signals. We didn't quite meet the warrants with the amount of traffic that goes across 51 and 73. There'll be stop signs, so you pull up to the top of the ramp, look both ways, just like you would at a regular stop sign, and make your movements off of that as you go. If it ever needs to, when we get the traffic volumes and stuff up there, it's easily convertible to put traffic signals in and add the turn lanes. We're building it for that purpose to make it, we can transition to that if we need to in the future.
So as you're going north, going up Madison, you go up over the bridge, and there'll be a stop sign, but the traffic will be going south on 73, right?
But there's no stop sign.
You're on 51.
Yeah, you're on Highway 51 going north. and you're going up over the bridge, there'll be a stop sign, right, to stop you.
No,
Okay.
you're going up over the bridge, the stop signs are on the ramp, so as you're heading
Okay.
northbound and you want to get off and come into Edgerton, you get off that ramp at the top at 5173, to take a left or right, you would have to come to a stop sign. The same direction as you're heading southbound to Janesville, to come up that ramp, you take a stop sign. 51 and 73 can go straight through, uncontrolled.
Okay.
If you're going to take a left-hand turn onto the interstate from either of those, then you need to watch your crossing traffic
Gotcha.
as they're heading the other way.
Gotcha.
The stop signs are just on those two ramp locations.
Okay. Are you gonna, right, okay. You're gonna do it like how you did Racine Street, keep the bridge open, and then you're gonna configure it, the bridge a little bit south of the existing, gotcha.
Every interchange we need to keep open as we're going through here, vital to everybody moving. Several of these interchanges are part of our alternate routes, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But every interchange will be built a little bit off alignment to keep the existing one in service until we can switch traffic onto the new one. So yes, that's a good question. The other interchange that services Edgerton is the Highway 59 down by the Newville area, just north of the Rock River. This one again has the loop ramps, but they're both oriented on the south side, not on each diagonal quadrant as we go through there. This again will also be, basically it's a diamond interchange. You get off on your right-hand ramp and head northbound. You can enter onto the I-90 northbound, I-39 as you head off into that ramp. The difference here is, looking at the traffic volumes as we go through here, roundabouts seem and came out with the best alternative for the intersection controls we have here. It's more than a stop sign. It's not quite the traffic signal, but the amount of traffic we have going through here and the flow is we felt the roundabouts and stuff gave us a better traffic flow and a better level service. And a level service it's very hard to explain, but basically if you have a regular free flow motion, level service A is the best, F is the worst. These will operate all the way up to level service B and a high C, even out to the 2040 line, because we expect them to increase through here. And even on the Fridays and Sundays, it still operates at level service C with all the tourism, the traffic, the boating, the people you have coming down for camping and that, and entering Edgerton as we go through here. The one interesting thing is the third roundabout there, with that funky traffic signal where you either go straight on the ramp, but do not enter on the one on the left because it is somewhat of a misnomer. I think people have gotten used to it better. But that third roundabout down there, I wish I had mine. Can't quite get the key. That you see there on the far right, on the lower part there, that will create what we call another back road or front road and stuff back to the businesses by Culver. So 59, there's no way to do this. Okay. Should have brought my pointer. We're going to build a back road and stuff around behind. You see where the mobile station is, and in between culverts there, because that area is there for development. And it also allows us to potentially, if we need to, you see the square up there, kind of looks like a football field. That is potential park and ride between those two roundabouts. That doesn't mean we're going to build it, but we do have the space to build it there if it makes sense. Our biggest issue is trying to find maintenance for people to maintain that. The county will maintain it, the townships, as we go through that. The funding, you guys I'm sure understand, there are some obstacles to get around as you go through as far as some maintenance agreements as we go through here. But we are going to at least build that third roundabout and create that as a backage road to help also clear up some of the congestion you have at that Mallwood Drive that goes further to the east there as you look at that. Because that is a kind of a dangerous intersection as you get through that point.
What, so if you're going, say, going to Anchor Inn or across the river there on Mallwood Drive there, going east, you can hang a left there, right? On Mallwood Drive?
We are looking at trying to cut off as much of the cross traffic and the left-hand turns out of that. Those are the types of movements that create a lot of confusion and a lot of accident potential at that.
How are you going to go down in that subdivision then? How do you get down there?
That's where the roundabout at the north and that new backage road comes into play. You would have to go to that roundabout to make that full movement around there as you go.
Well, past McDonald's and go down that Jason Drive down Hillside or something?
You can go around the roundabout and get up on that backside as you go through there, yeah.
Okay.
We've worked extensively with the town of Fulton, trying to get through this obstacle and stuff and trying to figure out many ways as to try to improve this intersection as we go through there. Culver's does a very good business, as well as a few other ones, and it's an area that looks like it's supposedly set up for development as we go We're trying not to hamper that, but we're also trying to take care of the traffic issues that we have in 59 as well.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so if you're coming on Malwood Drive,
Mhm.
if coming from the east going west, you can hang a right-hand turn, right?
Yes,
Okay,
definitely.
okay, but you can't cut, can you cut across?
That's one of the movements we're trying to
Okay.
restrict in that straight.
I-
Those are some of the ones that, as 59 picks up the traffic from the campers, the boaters and stuff, and that was a real big concern that they had there. There's been people having to sit there for long times where they take those risks and chances as they go through there. So we've seen some of the crash rates at times can be high there, and at times it's like there's not an issue. So we're still trying to do what we can to address what we can at that point. 59 needs some work itself, but this project, and I know we've gone through this project can't fix everything on 59. We need to look at another improvement project in the future to take care of some of the issues on 59 and down across the bridge and to move up in the future. It's not programmed now, but we can only extend so far as what our environmental document allows us to, and the feds allow us with this project.
It's one of the most busiest areas I've seen besides Madison and the Beltline, you know?
It's a very busy little area, but more than people realize, I think, that aren't familiar with the area. So again, this interchange, as we go through it, is the roundabouts. Again, it's going to be built off alignment as we go through here. And again, this is another entranceway, gateway into the south side of it as you go through there. I see you guys have some more new improvements on 59 as you come in and stuff. We're looking to only enhance that as we come in through there. Another feature we have here on the far left side going to the north, between that last roundabout and that insignia 59, Gady Road Bridge that goes over the interstate. We're going to remove that bridge as we go through there. Did I pronounce that right? Is it Gady?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to make sure sometimes I pronounce some of the local name incorrectly.
Creek or
That
crick?
will be a new frontage road, town road that will come down to 59, so that's not cut off completely as Gady Road comes down from Hillside Drive, and that'll continue on this one on the west side. You have to take Hillside to get underneath and come down the east side, or you can come to the 59 interchange and move around that as well. So that'll be a new road connection as we come.
Oh, so Gated Road would be a dead end down there, right? I got you.
It'll come straight, Gady Road, if you go to the north, yes, on the east side of the interstate will come to a cul-de-sac.
Okay.
The one on the west side and stuff will carry straight through. We'll reconfigure that intersection up there and bring it down to 59 into that area. Any other questions with that one? Alternate routes, there are some alternate routes that are going to be coming through Edgerton. We talked about the first one currently is Highway 73. We all know that's shut off on the north side all the way up to Deerfield right now. They're currently working on that. That's our alternate route for the north segment as it goes north to US 12 and 18 by Deerfield and back over to Madison through the US 12 and 18 interchange at the Beltline interchange. That project will be done this year. But next year, and we'll get into that, you'll see the one up on top there, the 12 and 18 and 73 jug handle interchange is what we're going to put up there to try to take care of what we have the offset 73 intersection on 12 and 18. That's another dangerous intersection. We felt since this is our alternate route, we want to improve that, bring it back in, and make it safer. So it's basically going to be a right in, right out, depending on which side. So as you get off and want to head eastbound on 12 and 18, you have to take the jug handle on the south side. You have to get off. If you're going to go to Deerfield, you come down to that, take a right, go across the bridge on 73 and back over 12 and 18 to get to Deerfield. If you want to head to Madison, coming from Edgerton, you go across, up and over 12 and 18, get on the jug handle, come down to 12 and 18, and you take a right. We're removing the left-hand ins and left-hand outs. Those are the most dangerous ones at 12 and 18. With the amount of traffic that's increasing and stuff. Some of the alternatives are to put traffic signals on it. We really weren't in favor of that, but we have to go through the process, and we won't go more expensive on it than putting a jug handle interchange in that location as we go through there. If you want to go on 73 and go all the way up to the interstate, you just go across the Fulton Bridge. You don't get stopped at all as you go through. It's only on the ramps locations where you get the stops on the right ends and right outs. The one that's really important to Edgerton is you come out of Edgerton at the US 14 interchange there. That'll carry over to Highway 51 and then all the way up to Edgerton. through Edgerton and back out to the 5173 interchange. That's an alternate route that'll, and we'll get into some of the time frames, but that'll be built next year as we go through there. Now, it's not a total rebuild of it. We're improving the traffic signals on 14 through Janesville. Looking at some spot improvements on US 51, fixing some of the worst spots. It's not a total pavement replacement. It's not even a total mill and overlay on 51. So we're looking at the worst spots to improve that and fix it up. There's some signal improvements on the 51 and 59 interchange in the middle of Edgerton, just down the street here. It's not a major improvement. We're not going to change. We're not going to add turn lanes. We're not going to wipe out buildings. That's not the point we're looking at. But we want to make sure the timing and signals and stuff, and maybe if the trains are coming through, how we're going to move traffic through there if we need to. Then that'll carry all the way out through to the 51 interchange. What we are doing with that project on the north side of Edgerton, just up past the Piggly Wiggly and Subway, is I believe we're going to move the concrete and move it out to that next intersection, finish that last block, if you want to call it. Finish that concrete where it's kind of rough there and stuff. You guys are waiting for us to come. It needs it, trust me. I drive through there every day. But we're going to finish that piece, and then from there out to the 51 interchange, we're going to do a pavement improvement, mill, overlay, shoulder improvements, striping and everything. And that'll be all the new pavement all the way out to the 51 interchange, actually 73 all the way to Deerfield is the new pavement for that north side of Edgerton all the way out through. After next year, that should all be done.
Okay, but what's the current speed limit once you get out of Edgerton? Is it 55 going out to the interstate?
You pick up, I believe, to 45 for a short stretch, and then you hit 55 once you get, I think, just past the industrial park.
Top of the hill.
So you're going to reduce it down to 45 with all the extra traffic coming down then?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, the speed limits will stay as they are as they go through there, even somewhat during construction as we go through part of that. We're looking at that to see if we need to slow it down through some of the construction zones, but the final permanent condition will be the same as it is today for speed limits.
Okay. Right from like the decoy or entrance into the pig kind of there, so you're going to go from there up to Tronson Road or up to Jacobus Road with the concrete?
No, it's just up to Tronson.
Tronson?
Tronson or Tronson?
Tronson.
Okay. That'll be the new that's the tricky part, is trying to work traffic around while we try to rebuild out concrete to that piece to match in, what they've done, what they're about 10 years ago, 8 years ago?
More like 15.
99.
It was 99, that long ago.
I'm pretty sure it was, wasn't it, Ron?
Yeah, it was
Chris?
99.
8 years ago. Okay, where's that go? Okay.
But, so it's a four-laner up to like the decoy, then it goes down. Or actually, it is four-laner up to the almost Tronson. So it'll stay that same width and then it'll curve in.
I don't think we're going to extend the 4 lane any further. It's going to still hang down to where it is.
So where are you going to put the temporary stop and go lights to stop the traffic up there? Are they going to be at Lad Lane or Tronson?
There aren't any.
Oh, I thought there was going to be. Oh.
How do you propose to get out of Deegan's Hardware and Piggly Wiggly and all those places?
There'll be staging. It won't be easy. It will be tough.
Wow, you better think that one out real good.
It's not, construction is never a pretty thing, and that's the one thing we try to stress. We do the best we can. We always have to keep traffic open, because that still will be our ultimate route through there. It won't always be pretty. It won't always be business as usual as you go through there, but there will be lanes open. The access will be maintained for the businesses as we go through there.
I might have read
It can't be a driveway half of the time, or you close down one driveway while the second one is open as we go through there. It's a staging process that it just takes time, and we have to kind of work through it for those month or 2 months.
I might have read that wrong. I thought it was a stop and go right there.
Nope,
Okay.
no, that'll stay the same condition. The hardest part is
Even-
utilities. Yes.
Even when you have the full detour route coming through Edgerton, you plan on just running with one stoplight downtown here?
Yes. It'll be an improved signal timing sequence as we go through there. And depends on the amount of traffic. There may be a camera there to kind of help us monitor traffic. So that may give more as traffic's coming up 51 and coming through town. People may have to sit on the 59 side of it longer than a normal sequencing through the traffic signals. So the 51 traffic can kind of flush through, and then stop them for a short period, let 59 clear, and then give the 51 traffic another longer period of time to kind of flush through as we're trying to move them through.
That's all fine and good right here by the stoplight, but as you go farther north, the businesses on either side of the street, you want to get out?
It won't be nice. during that period of time. And we're hoping really, it's not so much the diversion traffic if people want to think it's quicker, and we're going to give them travel times on these alternate routes. If there happens to be an incident, some people like the truckers. I'm just going to wait it out on the interstate. A lot of their mentality is, I'd rather just sit here be delayed for a half hour rather than go off on the alternate route and don't know if I'm going to get to a point where I have trouble driving. But there will be people who will say, I'm not going to sit in traffic, I'm going to take the assigned diversion route through Edgerton because it says it's 15 minutes faster. Some people will make that decision. We'll give them the opportunity to make the decision. It's not that all of the traffic from the interstate is coming through Edgerton. That's not our intent. That is not what we expect to happen as we do this. But there will be a fair amount, probably 25 to 30% of the traffic will come through during those periods. If there's an incident and it's shut down and blocked up, for we say it's going to be for an hour, you will see traffic coming through Edgerton probably for 2 to 3 hours just because of the backlog and the amount of time it takes to get through there. When that happens, if it happens, I shouldn't say if, it will happen.
It will.
Sometime. How many times a year will happen, I believe we kind of estimated about 4 to maybe 5 times a year. It could be in the middle of the night, it could be at 8 a.m. in the morning. We, of course, can't predict that as it happens. But we have to allow at least on our state and U.S. highways the opportunity for people to have another route to take instead of sitting on the interstate, which can cause secondary crashes. We all know that. If people ain't paying attention to the sun's in their eyes and stuff that are coming through.
What they're kind of hitting at there too is, there's been a request, put temporary lights up on the north end of town.
Okay.
To break up the traffic, because if it's backed up, people aren't going to get across in a quick trip to the other. They're not going to cross 51 on the north side. It's not going to happen if it's backed up. So the request has been put into the state quite a while ago to put temporary lights up at North Main and Lead Lane to break up the traffic so that the locals can still function while your traffic is coming into town trying to get through. Because you're right, it's going to happen, and it's going to happen more often than 4 or 5 times. And it's not pleasant now through here when we got 4 lanes of traffic, both directions trying to go. That stoplight will not handle it.
And I don't know exactly, since this is Derek's segment, exactly where that request has gone, if they've approved it. My guess, which is a bad thing now, probably. When we start talking, this is always the hardest part. Bring it back to you. When we talk temporary signals, we usually talk temporary signals, maybe for construction season. When we start talking temporary signals, when we're talking 6 to 8 years, that this could be operational, it ends up being almost a permanent type situation. And we've had other instances or experiences where we feel you should not have a signal there in the in condition, and then they fight to remove it in the end because people become used to it. People become accustomed to it as they go through. And right or wrong, that's some of the decisions they go through, even on a temporary basis, our basic temporary signal reasons is you still need to have and meet all the criteria for that side street to warrant a signal. And side streets up there would warrant them even in that 2 condition. Even though the 151 may be full of traffic, the side streets don't have enough traffic on. And that's what our traffic people say. You probably heard this story.
I've heard it all too, but it's just something that we need to really that. Right now, 51 doesn't, and these stoplights don't handle it now, and there's no construction on the interstate.
Right.
So it's going to get worse, and it's going to be a 6 to 7 year headache.
Yeah.
Downtown with 1 stoplight.
I can't deny that. But because I can't deny that. It's going to be worse. I do believe that as we go through. What we are hoping is as we go through it, we still are maintaining 2 lanes north and southbound as we go through the interstate. Regular traffic flow without incidents should stay on the interstate for the most part. There will be some diversion. Some people think they know better. I'm going to get around this because they are traveling 65. We're going to probably slow them down to 55 to our construction zones because they're going to be tight. We're going to have workers out there and stuff, and, like you're saying, for a safety issue. Well, some people still think they're going to take off around to get their back. I disagree, but that's what they're going to do and stuff that you're looking at. We'll take a look at that. I'll see where Derek is, and I'll try to get back to you guys where the issue is on those temporary signals. I'm not the final say on that. I still have to believe on our traffic engineers and stuff as we go through.
You're just a sounding board tonight.
Tonight I am, yes. We want to get up in Dane County, I can tell you everything you need to know. This one here, I used to have this segment stuff, but not the last year. They've done a lot of improvements to the plan. Moving on, and somebody else is taking on that segment.
I just have, not to go too far, do you guys have something worked at the fire department, when, say if the traffic is steady for an hour, say going north and southbound lane, to say if you have to come out and hang a left, go south, if that traffic is just bottlenecked up for an hour, is there, you have something set up down there, like some temporary lights, do you? Or?
No, they installed some signal lights that when you recall, we can activate them in the station.
Okay.
And they flash, all over, flash down by,
Shoe factory.
Is it down there?
Factory and,
Yeah, okay. Oh,
and
sorry.
then, yeah, up the street on the other side.
but I don't know, we're having trouble with them for a while, and all it is yellow flashing light, just kind of giving you caution that there might be a fire truck pulling over.
I know we talked, and with some of the emergency responders and fire stations, do we need to equip some of the that'll turn this, signal as you're approaching it, while you guys agree to go through it and stuff, it didn't stop the traffic on the other side of the 19th point. I know we've been meeting, I don't know if they've met with City of Edgerton Police Department, I know Jeff Gustafson, Rich Cannon, has been out meeting with a lot of Rock County, but you guys are kind of Dane and Rock, so I don't know if they include you with Rock County or Dane. Jeff, okay. And they've been going through some of the conversations and stuff, some ideas and stuff, what we can do. I know you're right, I mean, that's what you do. You have a fire call, and you gotta get across 51, and you got 1,000 cars.
Ambulance, fire ambulance.
Yes, either one, yeah. Let's real quick on the alternate route we do is try to cover every mile of the interstate as we go through here. The one good thing is at least you're not down on 43 to 140 and back over. That's a long ways to go to the
All the way up to 140?
Some of the roundabouts, 59 is not the only one we're looking at roundabouts. County N interchange just north of here, north of Stoughton in that, between 12 and 18. That'll have roundabouts on that one up by the Road Ranger mobile station stuff up there. Of course, Highway 11, Racine Street, which we completed last year, down at by St. Mary's and stuff, and the other businesses down there on the south side of Edgerton, or sorry, the south side of Janesville. That's a quick picture of it, an aerial view. If you want to check out what 59 will be like, this will be very similar. Only thing is those roundabouts are a little bit bigger right there because that is an oversized overweight route on Highway 11, so we had to size them a little bit bigger and have longer trucks that we have. But the 59 interchange will handle WV65s, regular semis as they go through there, just fine as we have designed those to handle it. Roundabouts benefits as we go through for 59, and you guys will have some brochures. We'll run through these quickly. Safety. One thing we do eliminate is severe head-on or the T-bone crashes with those. You have a lot of side-swapping crashes. It doesn't mean you'll have less crashes. It just means you will have less severe, so it's more of a less injury and certainly less fatality as you go through these intersections. Efficient, economical. One thing is we don't have to pay for the traffic signals and knockdowns. I don't know if you guys probably have to deal with any knockdowns here. Madison deals with them all the time. Everybody seems to hit them. It's like they're magnets or something to some of the cars. Certain intersections, they get them knocked down. Those aren't cheap, as you know, to pay for those repairs as you go through. Reduce motor fuel consumption. People ask, well, how can you say that? Well, you're not having to come to a complete stop at times when you have a red light. If you have a yield sign, you can just slow down and continue at the 15 to 25 miles per hour, whatever it's signed for, and keep moving on through. It's just that you do have to slow down. Some people say they're just traffic calming circles, however you want to relay them, but they are roundabouts as we signify them and go through. Eliminates the signals. It saves, 3,000 to 5,000 years of maintenance, energy costs as you go through. One thing is with roundabouts, just like traffic signals, you still have to light the intersection. Still street lights you have to put around them. So a lot of these interchanges, they will be lit on top and stuff to show people the conflict points where you come in and out. We don't like to leave these dark, especially out in the middle of nowhere in the intersection, say nowhere. Not nowhere. So, you need to light them anyway. It's pretty dark regardless. But it still will be lit, still have those maintenance costs. LED lights have got the cost by less than half for us at least if we go through.
I have a question. Are the ones in Newville going to be bigger than the ones that are in 50 over by Milton? Remember the little small ones you put in? Okay, okay,
We get that comment.
okay.
So I will say, we've learned a lot as we've gone through in the design of roundabouts. Milton's, the one on 59 there, were some of the first ones we've gone through. Like everybody thought we knew everything, it was a simple design, and there's a lot of lessons learned.
Looks good on paper, don't it?
Yeah. It works just fine if they drive them exactly the way they design them and stuff. So we have gained many improvements and stuff as far as looking at how the people drive them and how the truck can handle them and stuff with the comments and improvements we've had. Just another thing on roundabouts, you guys look at these for your handouts as you go through. You look at the movements as you go around them. Again, you have to yield to pedestrians if they're in the crosswalk, just like any other place. You try to have those clearly marked. As you come up to the yield sign, you look to your left. If no one's coming, you enter into your lane where you want to be. They're usually designated with either side or on the on-road pavement markings to tell you if you're going left or straight. One thing we've done with the city of Janesville for Racine Street, and I think we're talking also around local area here once we get closer to it, is how to drive these. A lot of people like it's a roundabout. Am I supposed to be in the inside lane or supposed to be in the outside lane? How do you drive these? A lot of people, it's an educational thing for everybody to go through. A lot of the elderly have said, they do not like to change it. They just don't like them and stuff as they go through. My wife hates them. I say I love them, and that's where we leave, where we get too far. But as you go through them, it's an educational tool. We went down to Janesville, Stephen. You went to the high schools, talked to the new drivers. People are getting their license, people are juniors, seniors and stuff, maybe sophomores, went to the elderly, talked to them. But one thing we didn't think of that, I don't know, Stephen or somebody came up with, how do the police, how do you guys enforce it? How do you know if someone's making the wrong movement? Who's at fault if there's a crash? How do you know this person didn't make the wrong movement or this person? Are they both at 50%, So we also had to talk to the city of police in Janesville down there, just, this is the correct movements, the first, are they still doing it, or just the first one?
This is the one for.
But I mean, as far as, they just they stopped people, we didn't ask them to issue tickets or citations the first few crashes. We wanted to be an educational thing. Did you know what you did? Did you know where you were going? You need to be in this lane if that's the movement you're going to be taking and making, stuff we should try to do there. So it's an educational thing for everybody to go through. We're not going to catch everybody, but I think a lot of people, it was a useful tool, at least for us, that we learned how to get the information out to people. It's a big effort for us as we go through that and start bringing these types of intersection improvements down to this area.
It's definitely a learning curve.
Yes.
The paper Saturday or Sunday in the Gazette, that one guy was going down that Racine one the other way for about 5 minutes.
Don't believe everything they do on YouTube. It's not always the right way to do it.
Right.
Stakeholder involvement, you want to handle some of this, Stephen?
Sure. Project team coordination, we have these outreach meetings right now, meeting with various local officials, state legislators, Chamber of Commerce's, convention visitor bureaus, just making sure that everyone knows about the project, what's happening, what's coming down the road, no pun intended. Meeting with general public, having public involvement meetings every so often, meeting with property owners, talking about right-of-way acquisitions, and then meeting with businesses, organizations, anywhere from that point. Big thing we want to press is the project website. On the brochures in here, list contact information. One thing that we've heard from past presentations is that when can I give comments, when can I talk to you guys? You can talk to us whenever you want. Give us a call, send us an email, comment on our Facebook page. We have a private website, you can leave comments there, or otherwise our contact information is on the website as well. Give us a call if you have concerns. Don't wait for a PIM. Don't wait for us to come here to one of these meetings. 2 days from now, you have a question about the 59 interchange. Give us a call. Stop on in. We're right up the road here on 51. To stay up to date with information, we encourage you guys to go out to the project website. On the top right up there, it says sign up for updates. Click on that tab. You enter your first name, last name, email address, and you get email updates about the project. Right now we have weekly construction updates that are sent out on Fridays regarding the current construction. So Highway 73 that's being reconstructed now, Sable Cow Road that's up by Madison and the casino. There's information about that construction project, as well as the pavement repairs that are going on from 7351 interchange all the way down through Janesville. And there's any notices that happen for, again, those public involvement meetings, information about our quarterly newsletters that we have. We'll have another one coming out here in August. And just a way to stay up to date on what's happening so you don't have to feel in the dark. So when you go home tonight or tomorrow, go out there and sign up for the updates and learn everything you want.
Right there, is that what you're looking at?
Correct, that's the one, yep.
I got
Right
you.
there on the inside panel there. And there's more brochures here for everyone. If you want to take them with you as leave behind materials. Project contacts, John Messerman is the project chief. John Steiner's here, project supervisor. Craig Pringle, who's the north segment. Again, that's the county line up toward Madison, so it's the more northern part of Edgerton. Wayne Chase and Derek Potter are the Rock County portion, so again, 59 interchange heading south toward Janesville. That's their expertise. And then again, our field office is just up toward the business park on 51. Again, there's our website, email address, Facebook. Go out there, you can like the page, get updates that way as well. We have progress updates regarding the construction projects, anything about meetings or the project in general, as well as a phone number to the office. So, with that, we'll open up for questions or comments.
How long is it going to take to do that up on Sickle Cow Road up there?
That should be done by November.
Okay.
Right now they have a traffic shifted to the outside on the northbound lanes. That'll go probably to about late August, or maybe just after Labor Day. They'll switch all the traffic onto the northbound lanes while they redo the southbound bridge. But then come November, by about Thanksgiving time, everything will be back up and open.
Anyone? Justin probably had all kinds of questions, just left, so.
One thing we didn't have on the slide presentation, we've got some handouts here, and if you need some more, we can always bring more back. These are for each of the design segments as far as what the construction projects are. There are start dates, or starting times, roughly it's the fall of 2015, spring of 2015, when it's going to end, is what we anticipate. So some of the projects are 1 year long. We have some like overpasses, some of our temporary widenings will be just in that summer. Other projects on the main line will be done, and it'll take about 2 to 2.5 years, depending on the length of it and the timing. So even though it may start, say, 2016, it may not be completed in that segment until 2018 as we go through. So as we go up through the whole project from the Illinois line all the way up to Madison, these are, you're going to say we're going to let about 5 projects, and then the next year we'll let 6 projects. Well, those first 5, there may be some overlap. 4 of them may be continuing while we let 6 more. In any 1 year, we could have anywhere from 10 to 12 projects going on at the same time this whole length of the corridor.
Okay.
So it's going to get, a lot of work. We're going to get through fast. 2020, 2021 is when we expect to be completed, all the way up through the whole corridor. The interesting and the best part for you in this area is the 59 interchange and the Rock River Bridge, that stretch on the Rock County line just out through the Rock River is going to be one of our first pieces let. The 5173 interchange will be built next year. So everything right around this area pretty much will be started next year. And it'll be, I think the Rock River Bridges, can I get my glass?
Here.
Over that certain time period. Yeah, I mean, that was going to go until the fall of 2018, the Rock River Bridges and that 59 interchange in mainline. That's going to be 2.5 to 3 years length and time of construction, just because of the staging we have to do with the Rock River Bridge, and that kind of falls in the staging and kind of complete that whole piece as you go. So really, Edgerton's going to get the very first major pieces of work done on the interstate starting next year as we go through that letting and stuff.
So that could be a 3-year shot, them, you said? Okay.
Yeah, so the Rock River Bridge is 59 interchange. The 5173 interchange on the north side will be started next year and completed at the end of next year's construction season. So we'll have that whole new interchange in place.
There's not to be that delay, maybe a year or something, like you said, because of the bidding process, that 7351?
No, that'll go next year.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So as we work our way up through, like I said, we could have anywhere from 15 to 20 plus miles under construction at one time. Some in their last year of completion, some just starting up at the beginning of that year. As you work your way up through the corridor. That's the big balance point we have and the challenge we have to try to control all the construction as we go through this point in time. If anybody has, I know Stephen went through a bunch of stuff, and we once in a while get these questions. We have a lot of electronic information. If you're not on the website, you don't like to go out to the website, I'm not a YouTuber, I am not a Facebooker. We have those services, I don't use those. But some people ask, I don't use a computer and stuff. How do I still get information? If you have a phone and call us, we will still send you things through the mail. That's not a problem. If you need someone to come meet you because you're not able to get to us, or call us, if you can find out somehow to let us know, we will come to them and talk to them, especially during the real estate process when we need to purchase extra real estate and land to build the interchanges and main lines to go through here. So we'll do what we need to do and what we have to do to bring the information to you people. This isn't a one-way street. We want to bring everything to you guys as much as we need to, and as much as you feel you need to understand what we need to get done here. So,
Can you go to your field office up there and?
anytime, yep. We may not always, I'm not always there. I have to run up to Madison for on the road, but somebody should be there at least get what you're looking for. You know, if we can't answer it right then, we will get the answer to you as soon as we can.
Right, anyone? Well, thank you.
Thank you. Sorry.
We're looking forward to it.
We'll leave these here.
And when you're turning on to 51, trying to get in and out of one of those businesses, go to the right and go to your next left. Leave a business going to the right. Enter that road going to the right. You only got to cross one of the 4 lanes, so 3.
Or even like, say you come out of the dollar store, for instance.
Take a right.
But how can you hang the next left, though? Because the traffic going south on it, so. Go ahead.
Change lanes and take a left and go by Cindy's. She likes the company. Sit and watch the traffic go by. Okay, we'll move on then. Anyone else in the audience that wishes to speak on anything that's not on the agenda tonight? Don't look like it. Go to the minutes from June 16th.
Motion to approve. Second.
Any corrections or additions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thanks again, you guys. Committee reports. Ron.
All right. Motion to approve bills in a payroll list in the amount of $157,177.37.
Second.
Any questions on the bills? Hearing none, roll call.
Webb?
Yes.
Buckmelnitz?
Yes.
McIntyre?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Thomas?
Yes.
That motion passes.
Motion to approve an operator's license for Nicole Zimdar.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Webb?
Yes.
McIntyre?
Yes.
Davis?
No.
Thomas?
Yes.
Mark Wellnitz?
Yes.
And that passes 4-1. Thanks for sticking around. Now you know where to stay away from on the highways.
Motion to approve an event package for Edgerton Tobacco Heritage Days to extend the park hours and waive park rental fees. Last year we raised rental fees, DPW fees. Organization paid half the actual security costs for Friday and Saturday, and we expended the park hours on Saturday night only.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I'd just like to clarify here the hours of police overtime. That is strictly for the overtime at the park, correct?
Correct.
Any other overtime within the city is not being covered by the organization.
It's the park.
All right. I have one other clarification for the park hours. That is for the actual park hours, not the license. So if the park hours are till midnight, everybody's got to be out of the park at midnight according to the current ordinance, the way it states. If the park closes at 11, everybody's got to be out by 11.
The extent of the liquor license runs out at 11, they can't serve until midnight, so it's extended to midnight to serve. That's trying to figure out. They can't serve any alcohol after midnight.
Right, but technically then if we're extending the hours till midnight, they cannot be in the park after midnight.
So it's technically you have to shut down then, we're trying to get moved out. It'll take a little while. Yeah, they're not going to keep going. Midnight is the deadline.
I think the confusion is when you told that the tobacco days, when they were here, that they could be there till 4 in the morning cleaning up, but the park, the ordinance reads that the park closes and no one's allowed in the park. So I think that's where the confusion came from.
Okay, the event would end at midnight. If they're cleaning up to get ready for the next day, I don't have a problem. I don't think anybody would have a problem if they're cleaning up. But there's no alcohol, no banners. Unless you do.
No, I just want to clarify what we're dealing with here.
We've never pushed that issue of people out there cleaning up after an event.
So do you have to have police officers out there if people are still there in the park? Like if they're cleaning up?
After the beer sales are done, we try to get everybody moved out. If the organizers are staying to clean up, we're not out there then.
Okay,
We're just getting the crowd moved out. If the organizers want to get cleaned up for the next day.
okay.
It's, the lights are generally on and then we keep going. It's just to get the alcohol out and the band stops. The crowd, the organizers can stay and get ready for the next day if that's what they need.
Has the committee, Tobacco Days Committee, have they requested to serve alcohol and the band till midnight? Or are they just requesting the park stay open till midnight? Which could be two different things.
No, they don't give us specific hours of their event. A lot of times we learn it by their brochures,
Sure.
which they didn't include. That's how we found out about Lions Club being past 11 o'clock.
Sure.
So I couldn't answer that for sure, Candy. I just know that it's been kind of a tradition that they've gone till midnight. I think their music and their beer sales till midnight just on Saturday night, not on Friday night.
Okay.
So
We generally take that as we got that at midnight.
The event ends at midnight. Okay.
Sales ends at midnight. The band is done by midnight. And everything shut down after.
Okay.
So everybody clear as to what the hours are at the tobacco days on Saturday night? I know the bands are tearing down for a while after that because we've had to stay for them.
We are, but are the actual people
Right.
participating at the event going to understand that? But I guess then that's up to law enforcement.
Okay, any other questions? Hearing none, roll call?
Webb,
Yes.
McIntyre,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Thomas,
Yes,
Mark Walnuts.
Yes.
And that passes.
I'm going to, if I can, before we move on, I'm going to make a motion also to amend the ordinance to allow any animals associated with this event to be in the park during that weekend.
You'd like the ordinance drafted to review regarding that issue?
No, just for that specific day, like we've done in the past, because they're going to have a petting zoo on Saturday.
Oh, an exception. That's not on the agenda, though. You
Well,
can't.
I think
It's
what
a-
it is
it's-
approving part of the package, what he's not amending. I think just your selection of words might be, instead of amending the ordinance, he's requesting to allow Tobacco Days to have the petting zoo, to allow the animals for the petting zoo.
Oh, an exception to that
Oh,
rule?
okay.
Yes.
Not an ordinance
That's for the
amendment,
day.
okay. Sorry,
No, just, I
misunderstood.
guess, maybe I worded it wrong.
A condition
He's
to,
Yeah,
allowing
make
the
sure that it's a
animals.
petting zoo and not, because people might take that as they can bring their dogs into the Tobacco Days otherwise.
All right, and maybe I didn't do it right. I know I've done it that way in the past, where I made the motion to adjust the ordinance, like a temporary adjustment or whatever, however you'd want to do it.
But it's part of the Tobacco Days packet.
Yes.
That's on the agenda. That's how we need to make sure we approach it in that direction.
Yes, and that's why
part
I
of
did it
tobacco-
now, because we approved.
Yes, it should be part of that packet and clear that that would be an exception to that rule also, I think. Just like the extension of the park hours is an exception to a written rule, you're looking for an exception for the
Right.
petting zoo to be in racetrack as part of that packet.
Right.
Allow the animals for the petting
Okay.
zoo. So allow the, motion to allow the petting zoo animals for Tobacco Days event in Racetrack Park?
Sure,
Is that what we're,
yeah.
But you're approving the packet which already has the animals in it.
Right.
that's the way I interpreted it.
You're approving the packet,
Does the packet show it?
Okay, well, I've just done it in the past where it's been suggested that we allow it, so I was just trying to make sure
It's
all the
kind of like
bases
the
are
park
covered.
hours too.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, you know, you can use that same scenario with the park hours, so I think we're just making sure we cover our bases.
Okay, that's a motion, and we got a second.
No.
Second.
Any further discussion?
I don't think anybody even thought about it.
Probably not. It's a condition for the permit.
It's covered in there, or just, no?
I don't think that it is in there, but as a condition for the issuance of the permit, he's looking for an exception to the ordinance. It probably ought to have been in there. I think this is the time to address it, and I think we're fine if addressing it this way, that it's an exception to the ordinance, and as a condition of their permit, that they make, that the animals be part of the petting zoo only.
Or the
That's
chicken bingo.
Pardon me?
They also do chicken bingo and bossy bingo, so that's not part of the petting zoo, but just, I guess to clarify.
Okay.
Animals associated with the,
Right.
directly associated with the
Event,
event.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot to come.
You got to show up just to say that.
Do.
Welcome to
And they're
Edgerton.
not plucking the numbers either.
We might pluck the chicken afterwards if he gets the wrong number.
Okay, so, motion is to allow animals associated with the festival in the park for Tobacco Days.
Yep.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Mark Wilnuts,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Webb,
Yes.
McIntyre,
Yes.
Thomas,
Yes.
That passes.
Okay. Motion to approve a temporary Class B license for the Edgerton Tobacco Heritage Days for July 18th to the 20th.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Webb,
Yes.
McIntyre,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Thomas,
Yep.
Mark Wilnuts,
Yes.
And that passes.
Okay, a motion to approve a temporary Class B license for the Edgerton Conservation Club for July 19th and 20th.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Webb,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Thomas,
Yep.
Mark Wilnuts,
Yes.
Yes.
That passes.
Okay, and a motion to approve a public event package for the Edgerton Volunteer Fire Department Festival and waive the park and rental fees.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Webb,
Yes.
McIntyre,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Thomas,
Yes.
Mark Wilnuts,
Yes.
That passes.
And a motion to approve a temporary Class B license for the Edgerton Volunteer Fire Department for August 16th.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Webb,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Thomas,
Yes.
Mark Wilnuts,
Yes.
McIntyre,
Yes.
That passes.
Okay, a motion to approve a facade grant for 123 North Henry Street in the amount of $5,000.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Webb,
Yes.
Mark Wilnuts,
Yes.
McIntyre,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Thomas,
Yes.
That passes.
And a motion to approve a small ED loan for 4 West Fulton Street, 2 of them in the amount of $3,000 each.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Webb,
Yes.
McIntyre,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Thomas,
Yes.
Mark Wilnuts,
Yes.
That passes.
And a motion to renew contract with WEDC Connect Communities Agreement and pay the annual fee of $200.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Webb,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Thomas,
Yes.
Mark Wilnuts,
Yes.
McIntyre,
Yes.
And that passes.
And that's all I have, thank you.
for that. You want to do Plan Commission?
No, sure. Motion to approve an extraterritorial land division for Anthony and Nicole Ruiz on Richardson Spring Road, Town of Fulton.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Webb?
Yes.
McIntyre?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Thomas?
Yes.
Mark Walnuts?
Yes.
That passes.
And a motion to approve an extraterritorial land division for Saru Patel, Heritage Road, Town of Fulton.
Second.
Ridge.
Ridge, sorry.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Webb?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Thomas?
Yes.
Mark Walnuts?
Yes.
McIntyre?
Yes.
And that passes, and that's
Can I
about
quit
all.
now?
Maybe. That's about all we covered on planning.
Yeah,
RDA.
that's about all we did.
We met it for RDA? We did, but nothing to bring forward here, was there, other than the
grants.
the grants above?
You guys did it.
Okay, parks. Anything from the Parks Committee?
Yeah, we mainly discussed the cost and possibly reconstructing all the roads out of Racetrack Park. I believe we approved buying another pump for the gardens, and that's about all I have.
When will the roads at Racetrack Park be done, or what's the plan?
We don't really have an exact plan yet. We just started discussion. We got prices somewhat established, and now we're just going to continue discussing, you know, the layout, the options we have for the layout, and try to pin down more cost at this point. So
There's a meeting July
July 16th,
16th
15th or 16th, yeah.
at Racetrack
Racetrack Park.
to look at layouts.
For the park? Okay. Good. I just know a lot of people are complaining about it, and I'm sure, as you know,
Yeah.
so,
That's why we're discussing it.
good.
Hopefully the people that were here realized it's not just to lay a little blacktop down. and fix that.
Right, and that's what I keep saying,
Especially after the
too.
article in the papers last.
Yeah, I'm going to say the article pretty well.
It is quite the project, and
Right.
we could sneak it in with that interstate stuff and not let them know it.
I know. How can we defer traffic through Racetrack?
There we go. Okay, that it for Parks, Mark?
That's all I have.
Okay. Next item is discuss and consider interstate bridge medallion design. We have a little staff report on this here somewhere, didn't we?
Yes, as well as drawing. Drawings on page 10, brief staff report on page 9. You may recall that the Finance Committee recommended that we move forward with trying to add some kind of decoration to the bridges over the interstate. We initially talked about the 59 bridge over the interstate. We may, if the town of Albion is interested, the same medallion may be used over the 73 bridge over the interstate. So there is a drawing in your packet. The rules, if you may recall, of what this can be, it can have no words on it. It can have just no text at all. And so it has to be some kind of graphic symbol. So there were several ideas thrown around. The idea that you see here is a sun and a sailboat. It also has to be, because it isn't in the city of Edgerton, it's located in the towns. It has to be something that is more general or more universal than if it were located right in the city, where we could pick something that was ours specifically. So this graphic represents something that the lake and, recreation. So I guess the question is the symbol okay? And then if the symbol, you agree with that as being an appropriate symbol, then is the graphic acceptable? It will be in color. Just like the bridge, if you've seen it over the interstate at Racine Street, it's the concrete gets dyed at some point so that it has some contrast. So the idea is that the sun would be a color, the boat would be a color different from the background, so that it would, stand off of the background.
Do you need a motion on this, Ramona?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to consider interstate bridge medallion design. I think it looks good.
I think a lot of people are going to be like me. What the heck is it?
We got a second?
I'll second.
Because it's in a township, and, it's actually the turnoff to go to the lake and stuff, and there's been other designs like that, a lot of paperwork, like the chamber's done and stuff of that. Look, I don't know. That's something that I know that the town would probably go for.
I think the color will be helpful, Dave.
Yeah.
Once the color, I think you'll be able to discern the graphic off of the background better
I think that's
in
key.
color. But that's why we're here. If you don't like the design, then you should speak up so we can draw another one.
Is this going to add cost to this whole project?
It will add cost to the project. It won't cost us directly, the city. But it will be part of the project cost.
So it's already actually been approved to do this. It's just a matter of now deciding what it's going to be?
You get to decide if we do it or not, as do both of the towns. All three entities have to approve, and the state has to approve. But the state has agreed that this is an eligible expense in the project as part of the project cost.
Okay, so I guess what I'm wondering is just by us approving this design, we're approving that it gets done. It's kind of all being done in one step here.
There will be one more step, and that is the cost of producing the form liner. We're working on estimates for that, and we're hopeful, although timing might not work for the school on their CNC machine to make the form liner. There's something has to be created to make this form, right, into the concrete.
Right.
And so we're trying to determine what the costs are, and if the school can do it. If the school can do it, then it's just materials cost. If a professional has to produce it, then that's what we're getting bids on. So that would be the last step for you to consider. And we would look for other entities like the Lake District to hopefully participate in that cost.
Is the bridge company even going to allow that? Because I actually have installed these on bridges, and it was just when they order whatever they got to order for the bridge, they order it through their people, and they don't want to mess with a third party trying to save a few $100 on something.
That'd be great, but that's not the way it works. The DOT has said we have to provide them with the form liner. It will be our form liner.
Okay, okay.
That's what they've told us.
I know that the town of Fulton, remember you and I and Chris were out there at that meeting? Evan Sayre seems to go ahead.
The town of Albion will consider it the same request at their next meeting.
So we are splitting the cost then for this.
I cannot guarantee that. I've asked a representative of the Lake District, whom I think is a significant beneficiary of this graphic and the bridge, to contribute. So hopefully at the next meeting we'll have all of the costs as well as who is going to contribute. The towns are not contributing anything financially.
All right.
At this point, you're improving just the design and the
Exactly.
concept of going forward with any medallion.
Right, there's already been a motion to say, yes, we should go forward. Now we're doing the design, and then once everybody agrees the design is okay, then we'll finally have the costs to figure out who's paying for what. And then that's the end. Then we would sign the agreement and it would happen. So you have one more step after this.
I think once this goes through, I hope it does, it'll be just a highlight coming across the river.
Was it tobacco leaf or a plant, anything related to tobacco discussed on whenever this symbol was generated? Was that an option or?
I never saw, of the graphics that I saw, that the tobacco leaf wasn't one of them.
That's so much of our history here from the townships or the countryside around, and that's where Edgerton got its reputation, is from tobacco.
But that would make it more specific to Edgerton, and I think I heard you say.
Oh, I don't know
Not really
about
when
the
the town's
farmers.
growing it.
Well, true.
City folks don't raise tobacco, country folk do.
I know.
Okay, so we're clear.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah, that would be my choice. Is a motion?
We have a motion to approve this design.
correct.
So then we would have to vote on that, yes, no, and if it's no, then right?
Correct.
I would just like to make the statement that I think this design would actually help point out to people driving through what's in the area. Tobacco is not going to be a draw to tourism, a tobacco plant, whereas, the boating and the recreation is. So I think this is probably something that I feel would be more appropriate.
And I think some people would see the tobacco as a negative.
And I think, Mark, your point about this, when we were talking about kind of what this graphic should be, the idea is just that, is to attract people to see something that they might not otherwise know is here. So I think that was part of the objective of the design.
It's a neutral design. It doesn't pinpoint out one specific thing like that. I know I agree with Dave that there was tobacco was grown in the country, but Edgerton down, the city has been, noted through the years as tobacco. But this is, I think it's a beautiful concept. You got
When
a
you're going
boat.
70 miles an hour in traffic, you really aren't going to appreciate what it is.
But I think it's one of the greatest things that's happened over the last probably 40, 50 years since I was a kid when that interstate came in. So whatever comes up there, this is good to me. I'll call it question. Or what I don't want to take a vote on that. But.
Roll call.
McIntyre?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Thomas?
No.
Mark Walnuts?
Yes.
Webb?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-1.
Okay.
Consider memorandum of agreement with Wisconsin DOT regarding closed-circuit television cameras. Kind of mentioned in the presentation earlier here.
Page 9 is a very brief staff report, and the agreement begins on page 11 of your packet. They will be installing cameras at the lighted intersection in Edgerton to monitor traffic and provide information to motorists about travel times.
Motion to approve memorandum of agreement with Wisconsin DOT regarding closed-circuit television camera.
Second.
Any discussion?
Don't know.
Taller than the ones down there now.
Limited, I mean, they're
Probably
so
taller than
limited
you,
as to what they
Tom.
can do down there, with everything. So
Is this going to be radio signals that they're going to be up in Madison to monitor these TVs? Is that how they're doing it?
is it hardwired, Tom?
I don't think so. I think it's remote of some sort.
The agreement is asked for access to our conduit, I believe.
Thank you.
So they,
Probably for the power, yeah.
okay.
How are they going to get the signal wherever it is? Because just from experience, downtown is difficult with radio. So the taller it is, the better it is. So how tall are they thinking? They're probably going to have to go higher. And how high do you want to hold on that?
We could ask that question and find out.
Just to think about it. Because that's why we use such a problem in the intersection. So that's difficult to do. Something to think about.
Good point.
When I had looked at this, I only had one question on the storage of additional or spare equipment. What are they looking at, and are we assuming any liability for the storage of that equipment? Has that been discussed? Number 4, I mean, it doesn't say that we're assuming liability, but if we're taking bailment of their equipment, I imagine, I'm not sure what they're looking at. Is this something that goes in a closet, or is this something substantial?
No, it would probably be stored outside up behind the city garage. It's storing our equipment because when this project's done, they're going to put our equipment back. And the other is storing extra equipment for them in case something gets knocked down.
Replacement pieces.
Yeah, I understood that. I just don't want to make sure that we're not assuming liability for, some particularly expensive piece of equipment. I just don't know what's involved, and so I don't know. Okay.
The equipment will be installed.
The equipment is going to be up on the pole, and just, got it. All right.
Anyone else? Roll call.
Davis?
Yes.
Webb?
Yes.
McIntyre?
Yes.
Thomas?
Yes.
Mark Walnuts?
Yes.
And that passes. Mayor, Alderperson, and staff reports. A couple of things. There's a fundraiser for the Arts Council out at Bill Wortman's Friday night. Can't make it, won't be in town. Benefit concert. Looks like the crowd out at 4th of July was, or 3rd of July was well-behaved and a rather good crowd out there. I hope they did well on that. Tobacco Days is a little over a week from now, week and a half. Everyone knows what goes on there. And I know Tom mentioned earlier the box culvert project almost done. It looks good. The approaches for the sidewalk look a lot better than they did when we were having complaints on that.
You mean there wasn't any approach of anything?
The jumps.
The 2-foot drop?
The cliff. And that's all I have here.
Yeah, I'll second that, Chris. The job that they did down in Swift and Round was excellent. You know, they did a really, really good job down there.
David Buckles will be happy.
Yeah.
They tried to dress it years ago, I think about 10, 12 years ago, and it was expensive, and it finally got done. All 4 corners are done.
Motion to go into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin Statutes 19.851E, deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. Discuss and consider land purchase on Artisan Drive, and discuss and consider business park land purchase.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Mark Wellnut?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Thomas?
Yep.
Webb?
Yes.
McIntyre?
Yes.
And that passes.